What is going on, Swoopers? Welcome back to another episode of Swoop Luke. In this preview, we'll be looking at the huge clash against Richmond on Friday night. Let's get into it. Just before we do start, I can see that over 50% of people watching aren't subscribed. Look, if you're here, if you're watching me, please hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. This is just an amazing community. It's always so friendly down in the comments if you want to share your opinion and stuff like that. And you know, I appreciate every single one of you. All my 4,100 subscribers at the moment. I love every single one of you. Let's get to 5,000 before the half of the season. That's sort of my goal. If you know a Collingwood supporter, like a friend that's not subscribed to the channel, hit them up, and that would be amazing. We might do a little bit of a giveaway as well. But let's get into it. It feels like every game now is just a huge clash, to me personally anyway. The Port Adelaide game was, obviously the Geelong game was, the Port Adelaide game was, and now this Richmond game one is as well. I don't know if it's because of expectation. I don't know if it's because we are 2-0 up and we can go 3-0 up or 3-0, however you want to say it, on the ladder, which would be absolutely amazing. But I think one of the main reasons is that this game against Richmond is always a good game against the Tigers, and there's going to be at least 90,000 people, pretty much like there was at the Geelong and Collingwood game at the start of the season. So this is a huge game, and it's not a season-defining game or anything like that, but far out, it would be nice to just have one over Richmond, especially in the form that we're playing in. Now, you'll probably remember the last time we played Richmond, it was round 8 last year. Dustin Martin came back from an injury. Tom Lynch kicked 6 on Darcy Moore, and there was all that talk about how Darcy Moore's not a good defender or anything like that. So that happened. We kind of came back in the second half. I remember that game where it was pretty much like the flu game. Everyone had sort of the flu, but Craig McRae came out and said that that doesn't excuse the poor performance. And it was a poor performance. It was a un-Craig McRae Collingwood-like performance, and we kind of built on that. We learned from that, and now we're here again, round 3, playing Richmond, who have come off a draw against Carlton after coming back in that last quarter, and they came back with a win against Adelaide. After Adelaide, I think they came back in the third quarter, I think, were down, or in the last quarter, down by only 1 point. Then Richmond kind of put their foot in the gas and then gone on to win that game. So Richmond are currently 6th or something on the ladder. They got 6 points. We're sitting, obviously, with 2 wins in a rich vein of form. This game, like I said, it's always a spectacle. We always talk about the 2018 prelim. There's a couple of other games in between then and now where, you know, have just been really good games. Obviously, last year's one wasn't that good, but this has the makings of just a phenomenal game of football. It's a Friday night, like I said, could be close to 90,000 supporters there. It's Collingwood's home game. Craig McRae has sent out a call to all 100,000 members to come down and absolutely blow the Richmond supporters out of the water. We are the 19th man. Every sort of second interview with a Collingwood player or a Collingwood official, they always talk about how loud we are, how much we sort of get them going, and we saw that in the Geelong game. When we started coming back a little bit, the crowd gets louder, we get louder. The guys hear that, sort of drowns out the opposition, kind of like what they do, you know, sort of at the in Europe in the soccer and stuff like that as well. So we are the 19th man there. They need us to be absolutely as loud as possible and cheer our boys home for the 3rd win in a row. I said it in a bunch of my videos recently that there is just a lot to love about this Collingwood team, the way they were playing, reminiscent of, you know, 2010, that 2011 style, the attacking, exciting flair. And I think from what I've seen with Richmond, they haven't really put up anything that kind of excites me. Like that Richmond-Carlton game, that first half, I was falling asleep. Like, I honestly was falling asleep watching it. It was boring as hell from both teams. It got a little bit better in the second half, obviously, and then the draw in the end was pretty exciting. But then the Richmond-Adelaide game, they shouldn't have let Adelaide come back like that. They kind of did a Collingwood where they wouldn't put teams to the sword. They should have put them to the sword. There shouldn't have been any sort of Adelaide involvement. Richmond should have had a 50 or so point win, albeit I only watched like the KO mini sort of highlights. I didn't watch the whole game, so I don't really know how the game ebbed and flowed. But from what I saw, Richmond should have just had that dominated. Not that they were playing super well, but they shouldn't have let Adelaide in like that. So I think that Richmond won't be able to hold up to not only our midfielders, but the way our forward line is so fluid and so unpredictable now, it is going to be just a very, very exciting game. Now, I'm recording this on a Tuesday night, so it goes up today, it goes up on Wednesday, and I don't know any of the teams yet. I released a video last night about Jack Ginnivan and how I don't think he's going to come in the team. I think he's going to come through the VFL. I failed to mention that Brody Mychek might not play. So I want to talk about that quickly. Brody Mychek, either a compound fracture or a compound dislocation or just a normal dislocation to his finger in the last quarter against Port Adelaide. Reece McInnes came on as the sub. The injury report came out and they said that they're going to give Brody Mychek every sort of chance he could. He will train on Wednesday and then he'll train on Thursday in the captain's run, and they'll see if he plays on Friday night. If he doesn't play, do I think Jack Ginnivan plays instead? Honestly, no. I think they put another tall in, and I would probably put in Ash Johnson, to be honest, to kind of take over Mychek and still have that two tall pronged attack with McStay as well. I don't think another small forward is going to help. I think definitely two talls, or maybe they put Reece McInnes in as that second tall forward, because Reece is like 196 or something centimeters, and then maybe Jack Ginnivan goes into that substitution, that sub, so tactic sub, but I don't see that happening. On Richmond side of things, Nathan Broad, their three-time premiership defender, is he has a 4-game ban because of a horrendous sling tackle. Jaden Shaw, another one of their utility, really good players, is out with a calf complaint. Jacob Hopper, their new player, has gone and done his knee or something to his knee, so he won't play. Dustin Martin isn't very likely to play against us either. He hasn't really done he hasn't set the world on fire, but we know what a player Dustin Martin is. One of the best in the modern era, if not the best in the modern era. And he always somehow just turns it up when we're playing them. And I know you want to play the best team that the opposition has, but a Dustin Martin-less Richmond does help our cause. And yeah, it's always frightening when you go up against Dustin Martin. So if he doesn't play, good for me. The thing with Collingwood and Richmond is that if you kind of look at our stats and compare it to one another, we are both a very high disposal team, lots of clearances, lots of inside 50s. Richmond turn it over a lot more than we do, and we can really capitalise on that with our pressure. We were plus like 57 in contested possession differentials against Port Adelaide. If we bring that insane, intense pressure like we did against Port Adelaide to Richmond, they're going to be fluffing their kicks, they're going to be fluffing their handballs, and especially with a good bunch of premiership players, a good bunch of players as well. Ivan Soldo's not going to play. He hasn't played for a couple of weeks, and they've got Nankervis and a new kid, Samsis Ryan, I think, in the ruck. Darcy Cameron and Mason Cox can kind of dominate that area. We're really good at clearances now. We've got Tom Mitchell. I think that we are going to make that sort of shift where this is the game. I know people have been saying, okay, premiership favourites, this and that. I know it's only round 2, but I reckon this is the game where Collingwood kind of stand up out of the crowd, put Richmond away by 30 or something points, stand up and go, we're here to sort of make a statement. This might be a statement game in the first 5 weeks of the season. My big call and prediction kind of meld together. I have Collingwood winning by over 35 points. I think the last time we beat Richmond by over 35 points was that 2018 preliminary final. I think we do it again. We ride that momentum into what we've done with Geelong, what we've done with Port Adelaide, and we ride it into Friday night's game against Richmond. Now, I know Richmond are going to probably want to tag Nick Dacos. Port Adelaide tried to do it. They put Lockie Jones on him. Nick Dacos kind of ran around. I think Richmond are probably going to put, instead of a half forward flanker, they're probably going to put some sort of midfielder on him to try and clamp him down, but then they lose a midfielder. And like I said, I think it was in my preview for the Port Adelaide game, or no, I think it was on SEN, I said this, was even if you cut off the head of one of the Collingwood Hydras, another head would grow. And we've got Steele running through there, Jack Crisp. Braden Mann doesn't do it a lot at the moment, but he sort of kind of runs through. Bo McCreary runs through. Josh Dacos runs through in the ring. Steele Sidebottom, Scott Pendlebury. I don't know if I just said those names before. Tom Mitchell, Taylor. We've got all of these players that can kind of pop up if Nick Dacos does sort of get clamped down. But I don't see him getting clamped down for the entire game. He knows how to shake a tag now. So I don't think Nick Dacos is going to have a big game because I think he will get really hard tag. But I think he's still going to have a good game. But anyway, that's my predictions for this game. I am so excited. I've got a couple of things brewing for Friday night for the game itself. Going to do a vlog, of course. I've got some more news coming up. I'll post that a little bit later. But look, guys, I appreciate you all. These subs and this channel is kind of just blowing up at the moment. It's crazy. I think when this releases, this might be my 4th or 5th video in a row or something like that. Or maybe it's my 4th video in a row. Saturday, the game was on Saturday, so Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So it'll be my 4th video in a row. The opposition views will go up tomorrow. That'll be my 5th video in a row, which is crazy. All right, guys, that's just been my quick preview for now. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, big predictions, etc., etc. But in the meantime, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets, and until next time, double checkers. I'll swoop you later.